Hello and welcome back to DWG TV. I'm your host Hannah, and today we're talking about increasing nonprofit donations with digital marketing. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you for joining us. We're so glad you're here. And if this is not your first time tuning in, welcome back. We're glad you're finding value in DWG TV. So with that being said, please take some time today to leave a comment and let us know, 1, where you're listening from, 2, why you're listening, and 3, what you got out of this episode. And bonus points if you want to let us know a topic that you would like to unpack together in a future episode, or if you have someone in mind that you would like us to interview, we would love to know that, and we're more than open to suggestions and feedback. So leave a comment. We want to see that you're here and that you're getting value out of these episodes that we're creating. So without further ado, let's dive in. So in today's world, it's more difficult than ever to break through the noise. With the rise of internet and social media, it's just, I don't want to say oversaturated, but your audience is being bombarded with messages left and right at all times. And that's not just nonprofits by any means. It's everywhere you go. You're constantly being bombarded with ads and information. So we live in a very information heavy world, and breaking through that can be incredibly difficult. And I wanted to share this stat. According to the Center for Charitable Statistics, there are more than 1.5 million nonprofits in the US alone, and that is a lot of competition for you nonprofits out there. So we're going to dive into how digital marketing can help you with that. And some benefits right off the bat is that this is a cost-efficient way to cast a wide net. And also that you're meeting your audience where they already are. Like I said, we live in an information-heavy world. We're tethered to our cell phones, whether you like that or not. We always have our cell phones in our purse or in our pocket. And that's where we're checking our emails. That's where we're getting on our social media, checking our social media profiles. And the good thing, the plus side to that is you can benefit from that as a nonprofit, in that you can reach your audience there. So there's a silver lining in the fact that we are so tethered to our cell phones. So today we're going to go through 9 digital marketing strategies that can help you reach current and potential donors. So the first thing I want to talk about is email marketing. So what can emails be good for? They're great at keeping your subscribers up to date on what's going on with your organization, whether that be milestones that you're reaching or events you have coming up, fundraising campaigns. This is a great way to stay in front of them and keep them in the loop. And one thing to keep in mind here is the frequency that you're sending out your emails. You may have an email strategy in place already, or it may kind of just be willy-nilly and sending them out when you have the time and when you have the resources. But really locking in an email strategy is going to be key to your success in bringing in these donations via digital marketing. So determine the frequency and find a balance between how often you want to be sending these emails. On one hand, you want to stay in front of them and keep yourself relevant, but also you don't want to just become white noise to the people who are receiving your emails. So kind of just evaluate, and it's going to be different for every organization, whether you're sending a newsletter every week or every other week or once a month. It's going to look different. So determine what's best for you and keep consistent with that. And one thing I also want to talk about with email marketing is the importance of your messaging here. A lot of times people can get caught up in coming up with a super clever subject line, and that is totally important. The subject line is what's going to tell someone whether they want to open your email or not, but don't spend so much brain power on trying to come up with the most punny subject line or something that's just so crazy. Where the story lies is in the body copy and the imagery there. So really take the time to invest your brain power there and come up with quality content that's really going to be compelling to your reader and make them inclined to donate. And with that being said, also you need to have a call to action in these emails. Oftentimes that looks like a button to your donation page, or maybe just it's a button to learn more about donating or volunteering your time. But that call to action and that body copy there, those are key to your emails being successful. And the last thing I just want to talk about, I kind of hit on, is images. And they always say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and that's absolutely true. So make sure that the content that you're sending out in your emails is not only compelling, but also that your images are tied into that content and that they are creating a cohesive message that will be that will encourage your readers and your subscribers to want to donate to your organization. So keep that in mind when you're either tweaking your current email strategy or maybe creating one from scratch, is the frequency and the importance of quality content and CTAs and imagery. So next, let's talk about social media. I kind of talked about this already, but the great thing about social media is that you're meeting your audience where they already are. They're already on Twitter, they're already on Instagram, they're already on Facebook, and that's great news for you. So you can meet them there. There's no guessing work there. So one great tip here is to place your donation link somewhere prominently within your profile, whether that be in your Twitter bio or in your Instagram bio, or maybe on Twitter you can have a really effective and interesting graphic and a link to your donation page that's pinned to the top of your profile. So maybe, you can't always assume that when people are inclined to donate, they're going to go straight to your website. They might come check you out on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram first. So you want to make sure wherever they're finding out about you, or maybe they've donated to you in the past and they're checking back in, that there's always a quick and easy way where they can have that link to go donate. You want to make this as simple as possible, and I think you'll find that throughout this whole discussion, a common theme is just staying one step ahead of your audience and those current and potential donors. So another great thing about social media is that your audience can share the content that you're posting and reach their audiences. So make sure that what you are sharing on your social channels is interesting and engaging and shareable, something that your followers are going to want to share with their friends and family. So make sure that your graphics and your photos are vibrant, and that they are that they elicit emotion, and that they just really tie into what the heart of your organization is. So just stay relevant with your posts and make sure that when you're posting, think, would I share this on my channel? Would this be something that I would want my friends and family to know about? So next, let's talk about unique giving platforms. And what I really want to hit on here is peer-to-peer fundraising. I'm sure you've heard of this before. I have an example from myself in college with volunteering with Relay for Life. We were given email templates and we could set up our own fundraising page. And what this did was give me the chance to kind of tweak that email template to share my own story and why this cause was important to me. And I could send that to my friends and family and coworkers and classmates to get them to donate to my fundraising goal, and that, then impacts Relay for Life as a whole and their initiative. So really think about providing your current volunteers or your past donors with email templates when you have a fundraising campaign going on. This is a great way to really get unique storytelling thrown into the mix, and every single person is going to have their own story as to why they are involved with your organization, why your cause matters to them. So give them a chance and a platform to share that with their audience, and that will definitely go a long way, and it will mean a lot to the people who get to share their message. It'll mean a lot that you have given them the tools that empower them to share their story, and it can definitely be a great way to bring in donations to your nonprofit. So peer-to-peer fundraising, a great way to give your existing supporters, the tools necessary to reach audiences that you may have never been able to reach if you were just going at it alone. So lean on those supporters in 2019. Next, let's talk about one that may be people aren't so sure how to feel about pop-ups. You think of pop-ups as being spammy and annoying, and if you're not executing it right, absolutely, they are annoying, especially if you are really just trying to get information quickly and you just have boxes popping up all over the screen. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is after someone is thoroughly engaged in your site and they've scrolled a good ways down, or maybe they've clicked a certain amount of times, that they have something that pops up on their screen, and maybe it's a form. Maybe this can be a lead capture form for you, and you say, hey, fill this out and we will give you this in return. Maybe it's a video resource to learn more about your organization. You want to make sure that whenever you're asking your website visitors for their information, that you're giving them something in return. That's kind of just a best practice there, and just put yourself in their shoes and think, okay, if I'm going to give up my name and email, I want to make sure that I'm getting something in return. And that also gives them a reason to fill the form out. So that's something to keep in mind, but also remember that this probably won't elicit donations right away, but it's a great way to get someone who's already interested in your website and they've already been perusing it a bit, to really capture their information and be able to connect with them further through your email newsletter, or maybe just an email that you're sending out to spread awareness about an event that is coming up in their area. So think about pop-ups as a lead generation, lead capture tool in 2019, and utilize that and see how that works, and can definitely be a great way to bring in donations in the long term, in the long run. Next, let's talk about optimizing your donation page. And if you tuned in for our chat where we talked about holiday marketing ideas for nonprofits, we discussed this, and it's really a no-brainer, but we want to make sure that your donation page is streamlined and optimized. Less is more here. Less is more. You want to make sure that this is mobile friendly, that it's quick and streamlined, that it's bug free, just really, no-brainer things. But you want to make sure that if you're really going after these donations, that you're making the process as quick and painless as possible. These people are taking time out of their day to learn about your organization, and taking out their debit card or their credit card to enter in their card info to donate to you. You want to make sure that you have done everything to prepare up to that point, that process is quick and simple for them. So make sure that your donation page is optimized. No brainer there. Always keep an eye on that page, especially if you're linking to it in several places. So next, let's talk about content. We kind of already hit on this when we talked about emails, but storytelling is everything. This is your chance to really connect with your supporters or potential supporters on an emotional level, and this is where you can really, share the essence of what your organization is all about. So when you are creating blogs, when you are sending emails, when you're even something as short as tweeting, you want to make sure that the information that you're sharing is relevant and it's useful and it's empowering and it's something that is inspiring the people who are reading this to want to know more about your organization, to want to support it, and to want to really be a part of it. So really take a narrative approach to content creation, and this can really help lead to donations in the future. Something to keep in mind here, this kind of goes back to the peer-to-peer fundraising. Consider guest posts. I'm sure there's been countless people that have been affected on some level by your organization and its mission. So have them guest post, have them share their story and why they're involved, how they've benefited either from the funds that your organization has raised for them, or maybe they're a volunteer, maybe they're an employee. Have them share their story and really just get some unique perspectives, because you never know whose story is going to connect with someone else. And that's just another great way to just lean on the people that are all around you. I know sometimes with nonprofits, your budget can be tight and your resources can be tight, but you have so many people around you that care about your organization and your mission. Lean on those people and let them do the talking. Let them share their story. They're going to feel great about that and empowered that they get to share their story. And also that's going to help you by reaching more people about not only your cause, but maybe inspiring people to donate as well. So next, we've also hit on this, but using images to elicit emotion. Strong images really bring your message to life, and if you're investing a lot of time in creating this quality content, you want to make sure that your images complement it well. So stock photos are absolutely fine, that's great. We use stock photos at DuBose Web, no problem with that. But you want to make sure that they are high quality, that they're professional, and that they're related to your cause. You want to make sure that the photos that you're using are related to your message that you're sharing in your blogs, your social media post, whatever it be. And images are really powerful. Never underestimate that. That's what's going to catch someone's eye when they're scrolling through their Instagram feed. That's why Instagram's become such a popular platform, is that images are everything. Imagery is everything. So as much as you need to pay attention to the content and the blogs and the social posts and the content on your actual website, you also need to make sure that the images associated with that are equally as powerful. So next, let's talk about paying attention to the calendar. So when maybe you're doing this right now, or maybe you did this last month, maybe when you sit down to plan out 2019, take a look at the calendar and see if there are times of the year when you are going to expect an influx in donations, or that you can just kind of capitalize on those times of year. For example, December is a very popular time of the year for giving. So really just planning ahead to invest extra time and attention to those times of year, especially Giving Tuesday just happened last month. And we have a blog on Giving Tuesday tips and ideas on our website, so feel free to check that out. But really just planning ahead for holidays such as that, and knowing about these busy seasons in advance can really give you adequate time to prepare compelling fundraising campaigns. So take a look at the calendar, or maybe even check out your stats from the past year and see, okay, when did the donations really come in? What was the trend like? And kind of use that knowledge to prepare for the upcoming year and to adjust accordingly, and know that, okay, we need to have some really quality content going out the door here. We need to have this kind of targeted fundraising campaign going on at this time of year, and we need to have we need to update our homepage for Giving Tuesday. You know, this just gives you the time when maybe you might have not had time to do that had you waited to the last minute. Now is the time to take a look at. We just had Giving Tuesday. Already start going ahead and planning your Giving Tuesday initiatives for 2019. It's never too early. Never too early. So the last tip or discussion point that I want to go through is acknowledging and engaging with your donors. And you probably are already doing this, but I don't want to underestimate the power of doing this, and really acknowledging and letting your donors know that they're seen and that what they're doing for your organization is appreciated. So that can be something as simple as sending a birthday email, an email wishing someone that's donated to your organization in the past a happy birthday, thank them for what they have done in their donation and contribution, and maybe encourage them in lieu of gifts that year. Share this link and encourage donations. I mean, I'm sure you've seen on Facebook, it's an opportunity now on your birthday that you can pick a cause that you're passionate about and ask your friends and family to donate to that cause. This is something that you can do yourself within your organization. Send emails and ask for donations for your organization, for past supporters to do that in lieu of gifts. So really just stay in front of these past donors and keep them in the loop about what's coming up. This goes back to email marketing. Just keep them in the loop of volunteer opportunities in the future and how they can further become involved in your organization. It's really hard to attract new donors sometimes, but it should not be, you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket and going after new donors. You really need to invest in those people that are currently donating to your organization so that they continue to do so, or those people that have donated maybe once or twice in the past. You want to make sure that they're becoming a recurring donor. So staying in front of them and acknowledging them and thanking them for their contribution can go a really long way. So that's really all that I have for you today. I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you have some takeaways from today, that maybe you got some ideas going and some inspiration as you're planning for the new year. So some takeaways here is that an engaged audience is an involved audience. So just kind of a theme throughout all of this was staying one step ahead of your supporters, of your current and potential donors, kind of anticipating their next move and engaging with them along the way, engaging with them and acknowledging them and keeping them in the loop about what's going on with your organization. And so with that being said, just try incorporating some of these strategies into your plan for the new year. And we want to know how your nonprofit is using digital marketing. Is there something that we didn't include on this list that you would like to share with another nonprofit that's kind of struggling for donations? Something we're really passionate about here, sorry about that, at DuBose Web is sharing our secrets, kind of sharing our secret sauce and empowering other organizations with their mission. So we want to encourage that here in the comment section. If you have an idea that's really worked well or a strategy that's really worked well for your organization, if you don't mind sharing it, share it. And maybe someone will see that, and with their cause, they can go miles further in the new year. So really just reflect on these tips, digest them, and let us know how we can help in the new year. We're here for you, and we can't wait to see what you're going to accomplish. So if you liked today's chat, please like and share this video, and you can continue the conversation further with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. We're on all the platforms. We'd love to get a follow from you, and so we can stay engaged. And we'll be back on December 18th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That will be our last episode of 2018 before we head home for the holidays and spend some time with our friends and family. So we'll be chatting with Lynn from SoCo. She has a lot of jobs as well as SoCo. So we'll be chatting with her about how she balances her Instagram platforms that she manages, as well as being the community manager here at SoCo, which is the co-working space that we work at and that we love the community here. So definitely tune in for that on December 18th. It's going to be a great interview. She's a delight. So tune in and share a friend, and we can't wait to see you. We're really enjoying doing these videos, but I will not ramble on any longer. Thank you for tuning in, if you're still here, and we can't wait to see you on the next episode of DWG TV. Thanks, guys. Bye.